Repair versus replace, that's also an important one that smart investors are switched on about, because a repair might cost you half the cost of replacement, but you might end up having to do the replacement cost anyway in 2 years' time or something. So I just had an oven and we had two options, either repair or replace. And I rang the owner and I said, look, that oven is 7 years old, which you would think isn't very old, but when it comes to appliances, they're just not made to last. And I said, so we've got the option of repair and the option of replace. So I have the two prices, and he laughed and he goes, I'll stop you there, Pat. Just replace it. He said, I got screwed over last year with a garage door opener. He got the motor repaired, had the two options, at least it's his own home, repair or replace. And he said, I was a tired ass and went with repair. He said 6 months later I had to replace the bastard. So he said, just replace. I'm not mucking around with it. Let's just bite the bullet and get it done. So I think being smart about that thing, like an oven, you might be looking at say $800-900 for replacement, but you could be looking at $400 for repair. So if you do a repair now and then in a year's time you have to replace, you've spent $1,400 instead of spending $900 in one go. So thinking about the age, knowing the age of things is really good. So when I have a repair, like for that oven, I knew how old it was because it was the original from the house. So I will go into our maintenance section and go, okay, when was this last looked at, or how old is it approximately, and that thing. But our trades are also pretty switched on. They'll be like, that one's not, it's probably going to be better just to replace it, because they probably make less money off a replacement because it's like pull out, put in, as opposed to their labour for like tinkering around. And the other thing, if you're replacing something in an appliance, so the diagnostic said it's the whatever it might be, they pull that out and then they put the new one in, and it's like, oh, it's still not working. Now it's telling us that it's also this. So it's a flow-on effect. And I always say to an owner, look, usually when things start going wrong, it's the beginning of the end of that item. And that's where obviously depreciation comes in as well, because a lot of these items have a 5 to 7 year lifespan. I don't replace everything. It's more, are we spending money now to patch something that is going to cost us money again in 6, 12, 18 months' time?